A city remembers in color Liverpool artist to immortalize Diogo Jota in mural. After tragic death at 2-8 Part 1, the silence before the SDROKE's Liverpool. Still, not the kind of stillness that follows a full-time whistle or a summer break. This was different. This was the silence of grief, the kind that fills the streets when a community loses not just a player, but a son. Diogo Jota, aged just 28, gone in a flash. A tragedy no one saw coming. And as his name echoed through vigils, tributes, and tearful messages, one man quietly made a decision to paint Jota not as he died, but as he lived. John Colshaw, one of Liverpool's most beloved street artists, confirmed what many fans were already praying for: a mural, a tribute, a permanent reminder etched into the bricks of this football-obsessed city. On Monday, responding to a fan's plea on social media, Colshaw replied simply, "I'm starting one next week, mate." Number, announcement, no fanfare, just purpose. Jota's mural would soon be born, not in his studio, but on the walls of Liverpool. Because when grief overwhelms, art gives it shape. And in Liverpool, murals are more than paint. They are a love letter to legends lost. Who was Diogo Jota? A lifetime in Iridibi for the brush met the wall. It was the heart that remembered. Born in Mossorello's Portugal, Diogo José Teixeira da Silva, affectionately known as Diogo Jota, was more than a footballer. He was a fighter, a dreamer, a father, a gamer, and a man whose smile could light up a room. Even after a grueling 90 minutes, his journey took him from the humble streets of Gondomar to the bright lights of Anfield. Passing through Pecos de Ferreira, Atletico Madrid, Porto, and Wolverhampton Wanderers. But it was in Liverpool that Jota truly became a household name. Fast, fierce, intelligent, deadly in the box. But most of all, he was loved. At Liverpool, he wore the No 20 shirt with pride. In just 4 seasons, he scored over 50 goals, winners against Tottenham, screamers against Everton, Champions League heroics. But more importantly, embedded himself into the club's DNA. He didn't just play for Liverpool. He belonged to it now. The man who painted Mohamed Salah celebrating against Manchester United. The man who captured Jurgen Klopp's passion mid-roar would immortalize Jota too, in color, in concrete, in memory. A city mourns its SONon the day the news broke. Liverpool didn't just hear about Jota's passing, felt it. Scarves began to pile up outside Anfield. Messages scribbled on shirts. Flowers from strangers. Candles lit by children. One fan left. Behind a PlayStation controller, a nod to Jota's love of gaming. A detail that made the grief feel even more human. Inside the stadium, a book of condolence was opened. So many came that the club extended its hours. Some wrote long letters, others just signed their names. But all were part of something deeply spiritual, a collective grief. United by love for one man and his brother. And among it all came stories, little ones, tender ones. A dad telling his child how Jota once scored 4 in a single Europa League match. A grandmother leaving rosary beads near the Shankly gates. A young fan crying as he whispered, "Obrigado, Diogo." Even Anfield's iron gates seemed to droop a little that day, because the stadium wasn't mourning a player, it was mourning a friend. The man with the brush, John Culshogw, John Colshaw, is no stranger to grief. He painted the Hillsborough tribute mural, captured the soul of Klopp's Liverpool on crumbling brick and fading walls. He knows what it means to honor someone in color. For Colshaw, the process begins long before the brush touches paint. He reads, he listens, he remembers. With Jota, it will be no different. He wants to tell a story not of a death, but of a life lived with fire. "I'm starting one next week, mate," he told a fan on X. That's all it took. That single sentence flooded social media. Thousands of shares, tens of thousands of likes. Because in Liverpool, murals are more than art. They are promises. His murals aren't just portraits, they are scenes. Jota won't just be standing there, he'll be frozen in glory. Maybe mid-celebration after that Wolves winner? Maybe arms outstretched after his header against Arsenal. Maybe pointing to the sky. The final pose is yet to be revealed, but one thing is certain, it will speak to the soul. Murals in memory. A city's walls tell its HEART. Liverpool's walls, remember? From the moment you step off the train at Lime Street, you're met with art that weeps, smiles, and sings. There's Trent Alexander-Arnold painted like a warrior on Sybil Street. Klopp with his fist raised like a general in battle. And now, Jota will join them. But why murals? Why do they matter? Because murals don't age like newspaper clippings. They don't fade like digital timelines. They stay. They remind. They bear. Witness. In a world where tragedy can be buried under 24-hour news cycles. Murals scream, never forget. For the city's youth, it's a classroom. For tourists, it's a gallery. For locals, it's a sanctuary. And for Jota's family, it will be a daily reminder that their boy mattered, not just in Portugal, but in every heartbeat of Liverpool. The global reaction from Lisbon to El for the shock of Jota's passing didn't stop at the English Channel. In Portugal, black armbands were worn across Primeira Liga games. Benfica and Porto fans set rivalries aside to chant his name, Teen Gondomar. Streets were draped in black banners and Portuguese flags hung at half-mast. Cristiano Ronaldo posted a heartfelt message. Ruben Dias changed his profile picture to Jota's beaming face. João Felix wept openly during training down in Liverpool. Fans from every background, Scousers, expats, tourists, gathered outside Anfield. Tributes poured in from Germany, France, Japan, Brazil, even EA Sports FIFA, where Jota was a top-ranked player and gaming ambassador, issued a public statement. In their next patch, a permanent tribute is expected in-game. One man, one life. Global grief. The final image, what the mural could be, though Kolsha has yet to reveal the design. Speculation is rife. Fans have started their own mock-ups. One shows Jota celebrating, fist clenched, eyes skyward. Another shows him side by side with his brother Andre, united forever in color. Some want a background of Anfield, others a faded Portuguese flag, but all agree on one thing. His smile must be there, because Diogo Jota didn't just score goals, he made people smile. And in the face of unimaginable loss, that's the memory that lives on when the mural is unveiled. It won't just be for Liverpool fans. It will be for football, for brotherhood, for family, for every dreamer who ever pulled on a shirt and dared to believe. Beyond brick legacy in the hearts of Mia Lello and Asotis mural will fade one day, as all paint does. Rain, wind, and time will do their part, but his legacy, that's etched deeper. It's in the eyes of the kids wearing his name on their backs, in the chants that still echo his name, in the tears of John Aldridge on LFC TV, barely able to finish his sentence, in the silence before kickoff, in the roar when Liverpool scored. Because Diogo Jota is not gone. Not really. He lives on in color, on the walls, in the grass, in the hearts of a city that will never forget. WHEN color meets COR age Exxon Kolsha's mural won't bring Jota back, but it will remind the world of what he gave us: joy, passion, goals, and above all, love, as the first strokes are made next week. Liverpool will gather quietly, reverently, not to mourn, but to celebrate, to remember, to honor. Because in Liverpool, grief becomes action, pain becomes paint, and love becomes a legacy that can't be erased. Rest in peace, Diogo Jota. You may be gone, but your color will never fade. Let me know if you'd like the script separated into social media, excerpts, press release segments, or adapted into video narration format.